direct investing. And direct investing is pretty straightforward. It is buying or trading, which is buying and selling any asset outright. So you go on your broker platform, or some of the banks actually offer platforms for you to trade simple instruments, generally equities and bonds. You can do this with single name equity. So you decide that you want to own shares in a company. You go on a platform, you buy X amount of shares of your chosen company, and that's your outright buy, right? You're the shareholder and that is your holding. The same with single name bonds. You decide that you want to buy bonds off of either a corporation or a government. You go on a platform, you buy units of that bond from your chosen entity, and you receive income in this form of interest payments. The same with private company shares through platforms. So whether you decide to do this through any specific venture capital platform or crowdfunding platform, you can select specific private companies that you put your money into and invest directly in that company. Therefore, you become a shareholder of that company and you own shares of the company. It's a little harder to sell private equity shares because they're not publicly traded, but nonetheless, you are still a shareholder. The same with buying currency outright, right? You can buy currency that you hold in your name in your account. So euros, dollars, pounds, yen, and so on and so forth. Buying property outright, okay? So you pay in full for the property so that you can live in it yourself, or so that you can run your business in it yourself. You can also buy physical commodities, obviously if you have the ability to store them, but you can buy physical commodities such as gold, corn, coffee, crop, any precious metals, oil, and so on and so forth. It's easy to invest directly, but where the complexity comes in is that you actually have to spend a lot of time researching the exact investments that you want. Maybe there's a specific interest or passion that you have, and that there are industries or companies that you're very well aware of and that you know a lot about. If you believe in them and you think that it's the right type of investment for you, then of course you can go ahead and invest in them. Just don't take on the task of making all of your investments direct investments unless you do have the time to spend on it. Because honestly, it can be a full-time job and it can also be hard for you to diversify as well. So sometimes people have a combination of direct investments and indirect investments.